All right, welcome back to KCCP. We're coming back to you after a great Chiefs win against the Chargers. Let's go ahead and get right into it after this.
Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League.
All right, so that's our awesome intro. I love it, man. Let's get right into it with the Chargers. This is going to be a short, quick hitting video. I will make a more in-depth video when the All-22 comes out. Just a few things I want to talk about. I feel like we should have ran the ball a lot more. I feel like it was working. I feel like Pacheco was getting 8 yards almost at will. I know there was a few gains there where he were less or he got stopped up, but it seemed like most of the time when he touched the ball, he was getting an 8-yard carry and sometimes a lot more. And with that, let's look at one of his nice carries right early in the game and see what he brings to the team. There is just the suddenness. And you can see it shocks the Chargers. The suddenness, the moves, the speed. You just don't see it, unfortunately, out of Clyde. And I don't want to bash the guy. I know he's dealing with an injury. So thoughts and prayers to Clyde and all the other guys that are dealing with injuries either from last night or before. I hope everybody gets healthy. It was a gritty win. It was it's a very important win for a number of reasons, but to be able to overcome the injuries, to overcome all of the burdens and troubles that you have, to overcome the adversity, to face all that and eke out a win, another primetime win on Sunday Night Football against a very good football team that was getting healthy. We beat them up a little bit again last night. Mike Williams ended up tweaking that ankle again, so and I think that's a good thing for us because he was getting what he wanted. And I think if Mike Williams had stayed in the game, we might have been in a little bit more trouble, but I think we would have figured it out eventually. So, again, just really excited about what we were able to do, man. It seemed like the refs were letting the Chargers get away with some stuff in pass coverage. I will talk about that more when I have the footage to show you what I was seeing. I don't like just talking out of the side of my mouth. So when I have the footage, I want to show you. The All-22, like I said, isn't up yet. So we'll stick to what we do know. We'll cover stats really quickly. So let's look at that real quick. Time of possession was in favor of the Chargers. Plays were in favor of the Chargers. Offensive yards, however, heavily in favor of the Chiefs. Yards per play, 7.8, heavily in favor of the Chiefs. Penalties were about even, but the Chiefs were more penalized as far as yardage. We had the same amount of touchdowns. And Harrison Butker got well last night. We didn't have any Harrison Butker missed PATs or field goals, so that's great. Looked like he was back on track. The turnover battle, we ended up winning that. We did have some gaffes and some mistakes that we'll talk about again later on when the footage comes out. The passing game was a little bit off last night, to be expected with all your big-time receivers out. You had Juju out, you had Hardman out, and then we lost Kadarius Toney during the game. So hopefully all three of those guys will be well soon. Otherwise, we might need to figure out a way to go sign Odell Beckham. I'm not one of those guys, but if we're going to be beat up, we might need to. And then the exciting thing about last night, 27 carries, 163 yards rushing. Of course, a lot of that was Isaiah Pacheco. He had over 100 yards rushing. And Patrick had a pretty big chunk too. Third down efficiency was 50%. That's, it's good. It's really good, but it's not what we expect as Chiefs fans. Something was just off last night. Red zone was definitely off. I think we just needed to keep running the ball, and it seemed like we would get away from it. And I think the Chargers were relieved when we would get away from it. We did get 5 sacks last night, so that's amazing. And I know for you guys that are going to be all over the offensive line this morning, look, man, only gave up 1 sack. That other offensive line gave up 5, so there's a difference between our offensive line, which is a good offensive line, and everybody else's, which is not necessarily good. So just keep that in mind. We had 2 punts last night. They had 3 punts. Not a lot going on in the return game, and then we had the one bad kick return decision by Isaiah Pacheco. That's a tough one, man. I know he was probably just looking to make a play, but you got to know where you're at on the field and not catch that. Or if you do feel like you need to catch it, then like they said on the announcement or on the broadcast last night, just make sure you're standing out of bounds when you catch it. Just for, the sheer purpose of not having what happened happen, where you get stuck deep in your own territory, because that's not a good thing to let happen just based on a mental error, man. And you want to watch that stuff very carefully, but you also don't want to be overbearing about it as a coach. And I know some of you are on Dave Toub. It's his position group or his side of the ball or whatever you want to call it, but that doesn't mean that everything that happens is an offense that you should be upset about. Like some of it is just, hey man, mistakes are going to happen. I'm sure Dave's going to coach him up and get him right. So Patrick Mahomes ended the night 20 for 34, 329 and 3 touchdowns. He struggled at times, but to come out with those kind of statistics in a game where you were missing Juju Smith-Schuster, you were missing Mecole Hardman, and you were missing Kadarius Toney for most of the game. Phenomenal effort. Travis Kelce was untouchable, unguardable. Isaiah Pacheco, 15 carries, 107 yards, 7.1 yards a carry, man. Give the guy the ball. I think, honestly, I think we could have got that game out of hand had we ran the ball more. That's the truth of it. Everybody that was touching the ball as far as running was running well, but Pacheco was running very well. Travis Kelce, 6 receptions, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, of course. I thought Justin Watson played very well. Sky Moore had a coming out party in a way. It wasn't a breakout game by any means, but he definitely showed that why we drafted him, what he can do in this offense, and hopefully earned himself some more playing time, because Justin Watson doesn't need to be playing as much as he was playing last night, man. He was playing a lot. I think he led the team in wide receiver snaps, which brings me to Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 1 catch for 18 yards. That's not good enough, man. That ain't good enough when you got everybody down, Juju's down, all these guys are down. Marquez Valdes-Scantling needed to step up and play big, and he did not. And to me, it's looking like probably a 1-year deal with him. They structured the deal where they could get out of it after this year without much pain and free up quite a bit of cap room, and it wouldn't surprise me if they do. He's had some moments, but he's not had games. It's not been, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, both amazing. 17 tackles amongst them, so that's phenomenal. Chris Jones had a phenomenal game. L'Jarius Sneed, for the most part, had a fantastic game. I thought Josh Williams played well. Justin Reed played well. Trent McDuffie played pretty well. I love the youth. I love the defense. I thought they played pretty good. It was, despite giving up 27 points, I get it, but the defense played pretty well. That's a good football team, and they were getting a lot of their pieces back, and that quarterback is very, very good. So just understand that to hold Justin Herbert to 280 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, to hold Austin Eckler under 100 yards rushing, that was all good. The Josh Palmer thing, he came out and exploded on us a little bit. 8 receptions, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen went off a little bit too. 5 receptions, 94 yards, no touchdowns. But nobody else had a big impact, just those 2 guys. Their defense played really well. But that kind of sums up my initial thoughts, my initial reaction to this game. Nick Bolton, of course, seals it with the interception, and that kid he's absolutely phenomenal, man. Chris Jones with the 2 sacks, Willie Gay with the big sack that was schemed open, which was a great call by the coaching staff. Really liked that. We were getting after it in a lot of ways. Mike Dana had 2 sacks, man. So that was huge. A lot to be happy about, folks. We're right at the 10-minute mark. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for all the support. We're working hard to make the channel better. You're going to notice some new things about the way we're presenting these videos. We're also going to do more videos. We're going to have a little bit for everybody. We're going to have short videos, long videos, videos with people on them, videos talking about all kinds of sports stuff. And videos that are into the X's and O's, but also just talking about our Chiefs. So it should be a good subscription to this channel if you like that kind of stuff, if you like the Chiefs. And don't be worried when I say we're going to talk about regular, just any sports stuff. That'll be far and few in between. It'll be when I have guests on. And trust me, it'll be fun and you'll enjoy it. So we're not going to run astray from Chiefs content, but we will keep it lively and do some fun things on the channel. So keep it in tune and let me know what you want to see. We'll get it on the channel for you. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you very much.
I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse. I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you from the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now.